sometimes arguing, sometimes trying to trick you. They might show you things in the mirrors, things from your past, regrets, memories, people you lost. But whatever you do, don't look directly into either mirror, and don't blow out the candle. People say the moment you do, you're no longer alone in the room. You might feel breathing behind your neck, or hear your name spoken in your own voice, but twisted, mocking. And if your candle goes out before 4:34 a.m., you're not supposed to move at all. If you stand up, the ritual breaks, and something might come with you when you leave. There are stories of people who tried it and were never the same. One guy said he saw his mother in the mirror, smiling. The problem? She'd been dead for 12 years. Another heard a version of himself whisper, "You're the shadow, not me." Some say it's all psychological, a deep dive into your subconscious. But others swear it's more than that. They say it's a test, and if you fail, something takes your place. So yeah, you could try it. Dark room, 2 mirrors, a childhood object, 1 candle. But just remember, not all kings get to keep their throne. Follow for more real horror rituals and legends people still try, even when they shouldn't. There's a ritual called the telephone game, but not the one you played as a kid. This version is darker, riskier, and some say deadly. The rules are simple. At midnight, take a disconnected landline phone, not a cell phone, an old-school handset, with no dial tone. It shouldn't be plugged in. It shouldn't even be connected to anything. Hold the receiver and dial this number, 20496809880. No one knows who made that number up or where it goes. But if the ritual works, someone will answer. They won't speak at first. You might just hear breathing or faint static. Then a voice will whisper something only you would know. A memory, a secret, a regret. If that happens, you're in. You're now speaking to the other side. Some say it's the dead. Others say it's something pretending to be the dead. Whatever it is, it knows things. People ask it questions, and it answers, but it always asks something back, something strange, something personal. If you hang up before answering, it calls back, even if the phone's not plugged in, even if you throw it out, even if you destroy it. There are stories from people who tried this. One girl said she asked to speak to her mother, who had passed 2 years earlier. The voice on the line said her mother's name, her birthday, and then started reciting childhood lullabies she hadn't heard in over a decade. But the voice wasn't quite right. It was like it was wearing her mother's voice, not speaking in it. The girl hung up. Minutes later, the phone rang again. This time it just breathed and laughed. Others say the voice gives you information, but always at a cost. It might follow you. It might appear in other devices. It might start speaking through voices you trust. No one knows where the number leads. It doesn't show up on records. It doesn't trace anywhere. And if you try to call it with a working phone, it doesn't even ring. So yeah, maybe it's just a myth. Maybe that number doesn't do anything. But if you try it tonight, and someone answers, don't say anything you'll regret. There's a Japanese urban legend that says, if you hear a dragging sound behind you at night, you don't look back, because if you do, you'll see her. They call her Teke Teke. She's the ghost of a young woman who was cut in half by a train. Some say it was an accident. Others say she jumped or was pushed. Either way, she died on the tracks. And now, she's stuck like that. No legs, just her upper body. She drags herself across the ground with her arms, her elbows scraping pavement and tile. That sound, teke, 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 it's the last thing you hear before she gets you. They say she moves fast, way faster than she should, faster than someone with no legs should ever move. And if she catches you, she slices you in half, just like her. People say she haunts school hallways, empty train stations, quiet roads late at night, anywhere that reminds her of how she died. Sometimes she appears and asks a question. Where are my legs? If you don't answer, or if you say the wrong thing, she gets angry. And if you lie, she knows. Her eyes go wide. Her mouth opens too far. And then you feel the cold steel of her blade before you even know she moved. There are different versions of the story. In one, she uses a scythe. In another, it's a broken piece of glass from the train. Some say she doesn't speak at all. She just crawls out of the shadows and grabs your ankles. But in every version, no one outruns her, and no one survives once she catches you. So if you're walking home at night, and you hear a scraping behind you, don't turn around. Don't speak. Don't stop. Just walk faster, and pray she wasn't looking for you. Would you survive teke teke? Follow for more urban legends that feel a little too real. There's a Japanese urban legend that says, if you use the last stall in a public bathroom, usually in a school, and you're alone, you might hear a voice. It'll ask you one question, red paper or blue. The voice is calm, male, soft, and it comes from the stall next to yours, even if no one was in there a second ago. If you say red, you'll be cut so badly, it looks like your clothes are soaked in blood. If you say blue, you'll be strangled until your lips turn blue. Try to outsmart it. Say another color. They say you'll be dragged into the floor and vanish completely. The spirit is called Aka Manto, or red cape. Some say he wears a red cloak and a white mask. Some say you'll never see him at all. Just hear the voice. Just answer wrong. There are reports from schools across Japan. Janitors quit. Students transfer. No one wants to talk about what they saw. So if you ever find yourself in an empty bathroom, and a stranger offers you a choice, red or blue, don't answer. Just get out. Would you survive Aka Manto? Follow for more real horror stories and legends that still haunt people today. Everyone knows the legend of Bloody Mary, but no one agrees on who she really was. Some say she was a witch, burned for summoning spirits in a mirror. Others say she was a woman who lost her child and went mad with grief. But the ritual is always the same. Stand in a dark room, usually a bathroom. Face the mirror. Hold a candle. Say her name 3 times. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary. Then wait. Some people say nothing happens. Others see a flicker, a shape in the glass, eyes that weren't there before. Then the scratches appear on your arms, across your cheek, or worse, in the mirror itself. The legend says if she appears, she'll try to drag you in. That's why you never touch the glass. You never break the stair. and you never run. If you run, she follows. There are stories. A girl dared to try it at a sleepover. The lights went out before she even said the third Mary when they came back on. The mirror was cracked. She had blood on her hands, but no cuts. Some say Bloody Mary is just a trick of the brain, a hallucination in low light, our mind playing games. But if that's true, why do so many people see the same thing? So if you ever dared to try it, you might laugh. You might call it fake. But just remember, the mirror remembers you. Even if you don't believe in her, she might still believe in you. Would you say her name? Follow for more legends that shouldn't be repeated out loud. Have you ever woken up and seen something standing in the corner of your room, but you couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't even scream? That's how most people first see them. They're called shadow people, and some believe they're more than just a trick of the brain. These figures appear as dark human shapes, featureless, completely black, darker than the room around them. Some just stand there. Others move, twitch, or glide silently across the walls. And the worst ones lean in close. People around the world report seeing the same thing. Different ages, cultures, countries, all describing the exact same silhouette. Some say they only come during sleep paralysis. Others say they show up when you're awake too, just for a second, out of the corner of your eye. The most famous one is called the Hat Man, a tall shadow with a wide-brimmed hat and glowing red eyes. If you see him more than once, they say he's attached to you. There are theories that they're demons, interdimensional watchers, time travelers, or that they've always been here. And if you're just starting to notice them now, it might mean they've noticed you back. Have you ever seen one? Follow for more urban legends that might be watching you right now. Have you ever played a game that opens your mind to something that doesn't want to be found? There's a sleepover game called Red Door, Yellow Door, also known as Doors of the Mind. At first, it feels harmless, but people say once you start, it's not a game anymore. You lie down on the floor, hands at your side. Someone sits at your head and rubs your temples, repeating a phrase. Red door, yellow door. Any other color door. Eventually, you slip into a trance. You're still in the room, but your mind starts walking somewhere else. A hallway appears. Endless doors on either side. Some red, some yellow, some darker. You choose one and go through it. People say they've seen entire memories inside. Childhood homes, empty schools, places they've never been, but somehow recognize. Some doors are calm, others are cold, and some are locked for a reason. There are rules. If you see a man in a suit, don't talk to him. If you see a room full of clocks, leave immediately. If anyone touches you, wake up right away, because if you don't, you might not come back. One girl opened a black door. She said she saw herself, standing in the corner. It smiled, but didn't blink. She woke up screaming. She hasn't slept since. They say it's just a game, a lucid dream trick, but people keep seeing the same things. The man, the clocks, the shadows. So if someone asks if you want to try it, red door, yellow door, you might want to say no. Would you open one? Follow for more real games you're better off forgetting. They say if you smell frangipani at night, sweet and out of place, you need to leave, because that's how you know she's close. The Pontianak is one of Southeast Asia's most feared spirits. She appears as a beautiful woman, Long black hair, white dress, standing alone beneath a tree or by the road. But don't be fooled. She's not waiting for help. She's waiting for you. The legend says she was a woman who died during childbirth and came back full of rage. Now she targets men, especially cruel ones. But sometimes anyone will do. You might hear her first a soft, baby-like cry. If it sounds far away, she's close. If it sounds near, you're already too late. The sweet scent of flowers, the sudden chill in the air, those are her warnings. If you ignore them, you might feel a sharp pain in your back. They say she has claws and teeth. Some believe she tears you apart and eats your organs. Others say she just stares into your eyes until you forget who you are. There are ways to stop her. Nails. You drive one into the nape of her neck, and she becomes human again. But the second it falls out, she remembers, and she finishes what she started. So if you're walking home late, and the air suddenly smells like flowers, don't look around. Don't follow the crying. And whatever you do, don't stop walking. Have you ever smelled frangipani at night? Follow for more legends that don't just scare. They hunt. You ever wake up from a dream and feel like something followed you back? That's how people describe her. The Pale Lady. She's tall. Too tall. Her skin is gray and stretched like wax. No face. Just a smooth, blank shape where features should be. But somehow, she sees you. She shows up in dreams first, standing in doorways, or behind you in mirrors. The first time you see her, you wake up instantly. The second time, she gets closer. By the third, she doesn't disappear when you open your eyes. Some say she's not a ghost. She's a parasite, something that lives in dreams, until she finds a way in. So if you're dreaming tonight, and the room gets quiet, and your reflection doesn't move when you do, don't blink. She's already behind you. What if I told you there's a road that can grant your deepest wish, but you might not survive the drive? It's called the 11 Miles Game, a ritual you play alone at night in a car. You must want something badly, a desire so strong it borders on obsession. That's what opens the path. You drive into the woods, and the world begins to change. Each mile tests you. Mile 1 is harmless. Mile 2 chills the air. By mile 4, you'll see things that shouldn't exist. Hear voices of people you've lost. They'll beg you to stop. But if you do, you're theirs. Mile 6 is pitch black. Mile 9 has screams. At mile 10, reality distorts. Time slows. The car groans. If you make it to mile 11, you park, whisper your wish, and the road gives it to you. But it always takes something in return. No one ever says what, only that the wish comes true, in the worst possible way. So if you're ever alone and desperate, and you find a road that wasn't there before, turn back. Some roads were never meant to be traveled. Follow for more urban legends that dare you to try them. In Japanese schools, there's a legend so widespread that some students refuse to use the bathroom alone. Her name is Hanako-san. And if you knock 3 times on the 3rd stall of the girls' bathroom and ask, "Are you there, Hanako-san?" she might answer. She's said to wear a red skirt, have short hair, and the voice of a girl who died too young. Some say she was killed by a teacher. Others say she was a victim of an air raid during the war. Whatever the truth is, she never left. Sometimes you just hear a faint reply. Other times, the stall door creaks open by itself. And if she's angry, she grabs you and drags you into the toilet. Yes, into it. There are reports from schools all over Japan. Students fainting, screaming, or running out in tears after trying the ritual. Some principals have even locked the stall permanently. but she always finds another one. So if you ever visit a school in Japan, and someone dares you to call her, remember this Hanako-san doesn't always stay in one place, and she doesn't always wait to be summoned. Follow for more ghost stories people still believe. What would you do if a voice called your name from outside your house at 2 a.m.? In some parts of India, they don't answer. They write Nailba on their doors instead. It means, come tomorrow, and it's meant to fool the witch that knocks at night. According to the legend, she walks the streets in silence, and when she finds a house, she calls out to the person inside, not with a scream, but with the voice of someone they love. If you respond, if you open the door, you're never seen again. In the 1990s, this legend became so real that entire neighborhoods in Bangalore wrote Nailba in red letters outside their homes. They said it worked. She would see the message and leave, but only for now. Some say she still wanders, just waiting for someone to forget, waiting for someone who's too curious, or too trusting, or too tired to question why their mother is outside at midnight. So if you ever hear a voice calling your name from the dark, don't answer, don't look, and don't forget to write the words that might save you. Nailba. Follow for more terrifying legends that might be true. Did you know one of Japan's most famous ghosts haunts school bathrooms? Her name is Hanako-san, and she's been terrifying students since at least the 1950s. To summon her, you knock 3 times on the 3rd stall of the girls' bathroom and ask, "Are you there, Hanako-san?" If she replies, it's already too late. She's said to wear a red skirt and have bobbed hair. But what's strange is how many versions of her death exist. Some say she was killed during World War II, hiding from bombs in a school bathroom. Others say a teacher murdered her. Some even claim it was a bullying incident gone horribly wrong. How can so many people describe the same ghost, but no one agree on how she died? Hanako-san isn't tied to one school. She's been reported all across Japan, from Tokyo to rural villages. Schools have locked stalls. Students refuse to enter bathrooms alone. In one case, 3 girls tried to summon her. Only 2 came out. The 3rd said she heard someone whisper her name, but no one was there. Days later, she transferred schools. In another version, Hanako-san doesn't answer. She reaches out from under the door, or worse, ... pulls you in. There are regional variations too. In Yamagata, she has a bloody hand. In Hokkaido, she's accompanied by a giant lizard. How did a ghost get so many forms and still stay the same? Hanako-san is more than a playground dare. She's a nationwide fear. A ghost with no clear origin, no clear end, and no interest in leaving. Have you ever wondered why school children in Japan once walked home in groups, escorted by police? It was because of Kachusek Onna, the slit-mouthed woman, a ghost who wears a surgical mask and asks one question: "Am I pretty?" If you say no, she kills you. If you say yes, she removes the mask, revealing a jagged, bloody smile carved from ear to ear, and asks again. Say yes twice, and she slashes your face to match hers. The legend dates back to the Edo period, when a samurai allegedly mutilated his unfaithful wife. But what is disturbing is how it re-emerged in the late 1970s, with actual police reports of a woman chasing children with a scythe. One eyewitness said she moved too fast to be human. Schools closed early. Panic spread. In some towns, people claimed she could teleport or split into 2. Others said she used red candy to lure victims. And the strangest part? There are defenses. You can confuse her with strange answers, like "you're average," or throw hard candy, specifically Beko aim, to distract her. In Gifu Prefecture, reports got so intense that school authorities held emergency meetings. How did an ancient ghost become a modern threat? Some say it was mass hysteria. Others think the story adapted to a world full of masks and hidden faces. Either way, she still appears, in quiet alleys, near schools, under streetlights. Always asking that same question. And the worst part? No answer is ever the right one. Have you ever picked up a hitchhiker who vanished without a trace? The vanishing hitchhiker is one of the world's most persistent urban legends, told in dozens of cultures with eerie consistency. Picture this. You're driving at night when you spot a young woman on the roadside. She's quiet, pale, and cold to the touch. She gives you an address. You drive in silence. But when you arrive, she's gone. Confused, you knock on the door, only to be told she died in an accident years ago. Some say it's just a ghost replaying the moment of her death. Others think these aren't ghosts at all, but omens. Variants span the globe. In Korea, it's a woman in white. In Mexico, she asks for a ride to a cemetery. In America, she leaves a jacket behind later, found draped over her own gravestone. The common thread? They're always connected to places of loss, and they always vanish. Are these stories just collective imagination? Or something deeper? How do so many cultures end up with the same phantom passenger? One theory links them to trauma at dangerous roadways, ghosts born from sudden, violent ends. Another suggests these legends are cautionary tales, warnings to drive carefully, to be wary of strangers, or to remember the dead. But every once in a while, someone comes forward with a new tale. A new location, a fresh disappearance. So next time you see someone thumbing for a ride in the dead of night, ask yourself, will they still be there when you stop the car? Did you know there's a Japanese play so cursed that actors perform rituals just to survive the production? It's called Yotsuya Kaiden, and its dark legacy goes beyond theater. The story follows Oiwa, a woman disfigured and murdered by her scheming husband. Betrayed and poisoned, she returns as a ghost terrifyingly vengeful. Her spirit is said to drive people mad, curse actors, even spark accidents during rehearsals. And here's the chilling part. The story was inspired by real events. In the 1600s, a woman named Oiwa was believed to have suffered a similar fate. When the play debuted in 1825, strange things began happening. Actors fell ill, props broke violently, audiences fainted. Since then, it's become tradition for cast members to visit Oiwa's grave before any performance, just to beg forgiveness. They leave offerings, say prayers. Some still report unexplained injuries, accidents, and breakdowns linked to the role. Even film crews have encountered strange failures when adapting it to screen. But why does this legend endure? Psychologists suggest it taps into guilt and injustice, the fear that betrayal has consequences beyond death. And culturally, it's a reminder of Japan's long history of onryu, vengeful spirits who haunt the living for crimes left unpunished. Oiwa isn't just a character. To many, she's real. She's watching. And every time her story is told, her anger stirs. Why did a pop-up window become one of Japan's most feared internet legends? The Red Room Curse began as a creepy flash animation in the early 2000s, but it quickly spread fear like wildfire. The legend says that while browsing online, a red window appears with the question, "Do you like the Red Room?" No matter how many times you click X, it won't close. Soon, the names of previous victims appear, and then the screen turns blood red. After that, you're found dead in a locked room, walls painted in your own blood. Sounds like a hoax, right? But here's where it gets dark. In 2004, a real-life murder in Sasebo shocked Japan. An 11-year-old girl killed her classmate. And investigators found that she had the Red Room animation saved on her computer. That connection took the legend from creepy story to national panic. Parents warned children. Schools restricted internet access. And the story changed with every retelling. Some versions say you summon the Red Room by saying its name aloud 3 times. Others claim it's a virus that downloads itself. The idea that something as mundane as a pop-up could be lethal made it unforgettable. It played on fears of technology, of internet addiction, of unseen consequences lurking behind the screen. Today, the Red Room still circulates morphed into creepypastas, games, and TikTok trends. But one thing stays the same, the eerie message that starts it all. Do you like the Red Room? Just hope your answer isn't the last one you give. Have you heard of the melon heads? These strange, deformed creatures have been spotted in the forests of Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut, and their legend is as twisted as the paths they haunt. Described as small humanoid figures with oversized, swollen heads, the melonheads are said to move quickly through dense woods, often watching from the trees before vanishing. But where did they come from? In Michigan, locals say they escaped from Junction Insane Asylum after years of medical abuse. In Ohio, the story goes darker. A doctor known only as Crow allegedly performed illegal experiments on children, leading to their mutations. Connecticut's version involves colonial inbreeding and a hidden community in the woods. Despite variations, they all share a theme: secrecy, cruelty, and escape. Drivers report being chased by shadowy figures. Campers find strange footprints near their tents. And in one case, a teenager claimed a melonhead scratched his car when he got too close to a rumored hiding spot. Urban legend? Maybe, but these stories persist across generations, growing more sinister with each retelling. Could they be metaphors for societal fears? Warnings against cruelty? Or is there something still hiding out there, just beyond the trees? Have you ever heard of a game you're not supposed to win? The Midnight Game is a real ritual with origins in pagan punishment. You write your name on a paper, prick your finger, and place the blood-soaked note at your door by midnight. Then you light a candle, open the door, and invite the Midnight Man inside. For the next 3 hours and 33 minutes, you must avoid him in the dark. If your candle goes out, it means he's near. Relight it in 10 seconds, or surround yourself with a circle of salt. Fail, and you'll hallucinate your worst fear. Feel icy breath down your neck, maybe even die. Some say it started as a way to test courage. Others believe it was designed to punish those who defied the old gods. No one agrees where the ritual came from, but people around the world have filmed themselves playing it and regretted it. In some accounts, the candle won't stay lit no matter what. Phones glitch. People hear scratching or footsteps right behind them. One player even claimed she was dragged across the floor by something invisible. Why would anyone summon a spirit whose goal is to terrify you into insanity? Maybe curiosity. Or maybe we're drawn to danger we don't understand. This is the most unsettling urban legend you've never heard of. The black-eyed children show up at night, knocking on doors or tapping on car windows. They look about 10 to 16, pale skin, dark hoodies, and their eyes? Solid black, no whites. No pupils, just void. They always ask to be let in, to use the phone, get a ride, come inside. They speak in unnervingly polite tones, but something about them feels deeply wrong. Witnesses report an overwhelming sense of dread, nausea, confusion. And here's the twist. No one knows what happens if you say yes. Most people slam the door or drive away, but a few who let them in. They vanish from online forums. Accounts deleted, emails bounce, no trace. Some believe they're vampires needing permission to enter. Others think they're aliens, hybrids sent to test human response. Still others claim they're demons in disguise. Whatever they are, they've been spotted since at least the 1980s, often in rural areas or lonely roads. And here's the creepy part. The moment you talk about them, they might show up. So if you hear a knock at the door, and a voice says, "We won't hurt you. We just need to come in," don't. Why did a 1986 Kleenex commercial in Japan spark mass panic? The ad featured a woman dressed in white and a child dressed like a red ogre, sitting in a wheat field as a haunting song played. That song? It was a German lullaby that sounded peaceful until viewers discovered its translated lyrics. Die, die. Everyone is cursed and will be killed. The child actor's red makeup, the woman's unnerving stare, the windless field, something about it felt cursed. And then the rumors started. People claimed everyone who worked on the ad died under mysterious circumstances. The actress? Said to have gone insane? The crew? Car accidents, suicides, vanished. None of it was ever confirmed, but that didn't matter. The ad was pulled off the air. Viewers said the TV froze while playing it. Tapes melted. One woman swore she saw the red ogre in her room after watching it. Another said her baby cried nonstop for hours after the commercial aired. To this day, People still upload reaction videos and swear they feel sick or cursed after watching. Was it just eerie editing or something more? Why do so many people disappear inside the No End House? It's an urban legend about a haunted attraction that dares you to survive 9 rooms. The prize? $500 if you make it through. The catch? No one ever does. At first, it seems normal. Plastic skeletons, fake cobwebs, cheap jump scares. But by room 4, things start to change. The walls feel too real. You hear whispers in your own voice. One person said the lights flickered, and suddenly, he was in his childhood bedroom. But everything was wrong. His parents stood there, mouths open, no eyes. In room 7, people report seeing their worst trauma acted out in front of them. Some never even make it to room 8. Those who do say it doesn't look like a room at all. Just endless black, and something breathing with them. One survivor claimed they made it to room 9, only to wake up in their own bed, but with the number 9 burned into their skin. Another couldn't speak for weeks. And here's what makes it so chilling. There's no proof this house exists, no address, no website, just stories shared on forums, eerie emails from anonymous sources. And one warning, if you find No End House, don't go in, because some doors don't lead back. This is the most terrifying spirit you've never heard of. In the remote stretches of rural Mexico, travelers speak in whispers about La Mala Hora, the evil hour. She isn't just a ghost. She's a force, a malicious entity that appears only at night and only at crossroads, places long believed to be gateways between worlds. Some see her as a black, shapeless mass, pulsing with movement. Others as a woman in a black veil, whose face cannot be seen, but whose presence paralyzes even the strongest men. The moment you lay eyes on her, you feel it. Time slows, sound vanishes, and the air turns heavier than stone. Those who survive claim they were unable to speak or move, just stare, knowing something ancient and hateful was looking back. If she follows you, someone you love will die. If she touches you, you never make it home. In some stories, she appears to abusive men, trailing them like a shadow until they vanish or are found torn apart. Others say she waits for lonely travelers, mimicking the voice of someone they know to lure them closer. Dogs refuse to cross paths where she's been seen. Children wake screaming from dreams of her smile. One man claimed she rode the top of his car all the way home, her veil snapping like a flag in the wind, though the sky was still. There are no rituals to banish her, no saints to call upon. Once she marks you, you live on borrowed time. The best advice is to stay home after dark. But if you must travel, never stop at a crossroads. And if you feel the urge to look over your shoulder, don't. She's already watching. You've seen the movie Annabelle. But the real story? It's so much scarier. The real Annabelle isn't porcelain. She's a Raggedy Ann doll cloth, soft red yarn hair. Totally harmless, right? In 1970, a nursing student named Donna got her as a gift. She kept her in the apartment she shared with her roommate. But then, the doll started moving, not just shifting slightly. She'd show up in different rooms entirely. Then they found handwritten notes on parchment paper, saying things like, "Help us, the creepiest part." They didn't even own parchment paper. Things got worse. One night, Donna's friend Lou woke up gasping for breath. He dreamt the doll was choking him. A few days later, he found 3 deep scratches on his chest, clawed out of nowhere. Terrified, they called a medium. The spirit said her name was Annabelle Higgins, a little girl who died nearby. She said she just wanted to stay, out of sympathy. They said yes. Big mistake. The famous paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in. And what they found was horrifying. There was no Annabelle Higgins. No little girl. The doll was a conduit. A demon. Pretending to be innocent. It wasn't haunted. It was hunting. The Warrens took Annabelle and sealed her in a locked glass case in their occult museum. But the story doesn't end there. A priest once mocked the doll. He crashed his car on the way home. Another visitor laughed at it. He died hours later in a motorcycle accident. Even behind glass, Annabelle still moves. And according to some, she still watches. So if you see a Raggedy Ann doll, don't pick it up, don't touch it, and whatever you do, don't let it stay. You've probably heard of the Cecil Hotel, but do you know how deep the darkness goes? Built in 1924 in downtown Los Angeles, the Cecil was meant to be luxurious. But almost immediately, something felt off. Guests would vanish. Bodies were found in rooms, hallways, and even on the pavement outside. And the longer it stood, the darker its history became. It earned a chilling reputation. People said the building attracted death, that the walls soaked up tragedy. Two of the most infamous serial killers in American history stayed there, Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger, who posed as a journalist while continuing to kill. Both lived at the Cecil during their crimes. But the most disturbing story, Elisa Lam. In 2013, hotel cameras captured her acting strange in the elevator, pushing